All right. Well, let's start in a seated heroes pose. So if you got your blocks, stack them on top of each other, and that'll be for your sit bones. So knees together, feet wide, nice and tall. And then close down through your eyes, drop deeply into your shoulders, so let them hang down. Just let your hands be comfortable. Start to notice your breath. Just notice what happens when you first come to sit first thing in the morning, especially the beginning of a new day, at the beginning of a new month, at the beginning of a new year. Notice what kind of emotions you might be sitting with. It's a good moment or two to check in mentally before turning into some breath work this morning. So after you've taken those moments to tap into what your New Year's Day is emotionally feeling like it's bringing you, wiggle your spine up a little taller. Feel free to wiggle your shoulders around a little bit. And then beginning simply, a slow inhale through your nose, pause at the top, exhale out, and pause at the bottom. Inhale through your nose, pause, exhale, and pause. Inhale, feeling yourself tall, pause at the top, exhale completely, and pause at the bottom. And continue. You might need to mentally repeat those words to yourself in your mind. And that can help your mind stay with the breath practice. Helping you stay with this first set of movements that you mainly feel in your lungs, in your nose, in your mouth, in your throat. Inhaling, pause, exhaling, pause. We're going to be here for a little while. So as you get used to this breath more and more with each round, maybe begin to draw it out just a little bit on each edge of the breath. Maybe you just start with a little longer inhale and go through that a few rounds. Maybe you begin to do the same with the exhale, just extending its length ever so slightly. Still finding those pauses at the top of the inhale and the bottom of your exhale. And then for the next few rounds, Find a tiny bit longer at each pause. So lengthening out through your inhale, just an extra millisecond or two, the top of your inhale and the pause. That long, complete exhale. And then finding that extended pause at the bottom. The length of the pauses should just feel slightly like you're holding. You don't want to feel like you're going to run out of air. So if it starts to feel that way, please just, you can let go of the pauses. You can make them shorter. You just want to feel a moment, kind of this floating space between the transition of inhale and exhale. And again, if you find your mind floating off, bring yourself back by mentally repeating what you're supposed to be doing with your breath up in your mind space. So you might tell yourself, inhale, longer pause, full exhale, longer pause. One more minute to go. So don't worry about counting a certain number of breaths. Just staying with it. Possibly extending the length of any portion of your breath or any pause of that retention. Allowing yourself to feel just those little moments before you begin the exhale, after the inhale, and then after the exhale, before you inhale again. Last little bit, maybe wiggle up to sit a little taller. Check in where your shoulders are and how they're reacting. Last few rounds. When you're finished, allow your hands to come together at heart center, palms and fingertips connected. You can let go of that effort in the breath and just breathe naturally in and out. Now just a few moments to check in. If you've decided to set any kind of intention on this very particular day that can be quite filled with intentions, just bring it back to your mind. If it's a different kind of goal or aim that you're working with for this coming year, just let that float into your brain space. Gently reminding yourself. And maybe any time in this morning's practice when you touch palm to palm, fingertips to fingertips, it's a signal and an anchor for you to remember that intention, that aim, that purpose, or that focus you're trying to have this coming year. When you're ready, open your eyes slowly. Inhale, take your fingertips up overhead. Feel free to tip your head back, but not too much. And then exhale, release your hands, tuck your chin into your chest, interlace your fingers behind you, reach your knuckles down to the floor, reach your chest up, Just start to feel that opening in your lungs. And then one more time, inhale, release your hands, palms up, head up. And then exhale, fingertips down, stretch to the back of your neck. Interlace your hands behind you, stretch down long through your neck, move through your jaw, and then release. Slightly lean over to the right side, release your left foot till it's flat to the floor. So you're gonna stay with your right shin down. Just start to walk your left foot out to the side, so you're in this kind of turned wide squat. Left arm down, right arm up and open, taking it into your first twist. Really reach out through your fingers. Nice diagonal line in your arm, and then a gentle turn in your neck. If looking at your right thumb is bothersome, feel free to look forward or feel free to look down. Breathe completely. Maybe starting to find a little bit of ujjayi with a soft amount of sound. Again, reach out, fingertips in opposite directions, and then notice your left elbow pushing a little bit into your leg, and then notice your left leg hugging in towards your elbow. One more breath in. Exhale, let go of the twist. Take your left leg out in front, flexing into your foot, so your right shin is still on the ground. If 2 blocks is too high, you can get rid of one. You're just gonna walk your hands back, fingertips out to the side, just a little lift up through your chest, and mainly aiming for an opening on the front of your right quad, hip, and all the way up towards your right shoulder. Just a few breaths here. Again, you can turn your fingers out. You can also be a little higher up onto your fingertips. Breathe clearly and easily. Good, one more round. Exhale, start to walk your hands forward. Start to reach your hands any amount towards your left foot and just lean into it. Try not to overextend through your left knee. So you might need to take your left hand to the back of your knee just to give it a little lift so you don't go into any hyperextension. Just a few breaths feeling into the back of the left leg. Good, one more round in. Exhale, slowly come out of it. Other side. So place your left shin, like take a hold of the front of your left ankle to come back into that seated hero's pose, and then lean to the side. Put your right foot out. Turn your toes out. Take it a little wider. Start to move into that open twist. Fingertips out, chest up, and neck turned in any direction where you feel a little bit of spacious sensation. Full inhale and exhale. So reaching out, feeling energy all the way into your fingertips. Feeling the hug in of your right knee. A slight push out with your right elbow. But your right elbow should not overpower your right knee. And you might feel a little reverberation in this in your left lower back. As long as it's not tugging, it's okay to just feel a little bit of spiral at your lower back. One more breath in. Unwind this twist on an exhale. Start to bring your foot forward, straighten out through your right leg, and we'll go to the back portion first. So fingertips, flat hands, trying to keep your left knee and shin on the ground. Lift up through your chest, and now feeling that sensation from your left thigh all the way up, hip flexor, belly, left shoulder. Full easy breath, as easy as it can be. And watch if there's any reaction in your neck. Like if this starts to bother your neck, then return your head so you're not hanging back and putting weight too much into your neck. Last breath in. Exhale, start to walk your hands up. Walk them forward any amount and lean towards your straight leg, possibly putting your right hand on the back of your knee, leaning into it, tapping into the hamstrings on the right side, a little bit of your calf and a little bit of your Achilles, all while still breathing. Last round. When you're ready, come on up. You can gently pull that foot in, place it flat, just so you can lean forward, set your blocks off to the side, but close to you, and then find your way onto your belly. This is gonna be a longer Sphinx. So as you bring your knees down, hips down, quads down, normally we put our elbows right under our shoulders, but today, just for the start, you're gonna put your elbows about 4 to 5 inches farther forward in this Sphinx pose. Palms together. And remember, when you put your palms together, think about whatever intention, goal. I don't love the word resolution, but if that's your jam, that too. Just a good moment to pause again, remind yourself of what that was, what you're trying to aim for. So just here in this extended Sphinx, just start to breathe, hugging your shoulder blades together, a little push of your elbows into the floor, lift into your chest. And if at any time this becomes too much, come onto your belly, take a moment, forehead down, on top of your hands. If this is starting to feel okay, pull your right arm in, elbow under your shoulder, pull your left arm in. Traditional Sphinx pose, palms together. A little push down to the floor, a little lift up into your chest. Extending the length of your breath in and out. Good, one more round in. As you exhale, come into a cobra position, forehead down, elbows up, hands under your armpits. 3 rounds. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Just one more. Good. Press yourself through plank with your knees on the ground. And then move into your first downward dog. Walking your feet up, hanging your head heavy, bending your knees, and tapping back into your breath. And I know all you guys practice very often, so try to really be attentive in this downward facing dog. So any habits you might have, see if you can recognize them and start to shift into a different direction. So we don't fall into those same habits that like to bubble back up. Arms extended, knees bent. Last round in for now. As you exhale, tabletop all fours. Left hand stays down, open twist, right arm out and up, lean it back. Exhale, thread it underneath, come onto your right shoulder towards your right ear. Take about 2 rounds here in the twist. And on your third inhale, as you begin, come back up and open. Exhale, right hand down. Other side, left arm up and open. A thoughtful threading of the needle over, down into your left shoulder, ear. 2 full rounds of breath, inhale and exhale. Slow it down. As your third inhale begins, that's your signal to unwind, reach up, lean back, and then exhale, hands down. Walk your knees back, come back onto your belly into that extended Sphinx pose. So elbows out, lifted chest. Again, elbows are about 4 to 5 inches ahead of your shoulders. Palms together once again. Remembering what that anchor of your hand to hand is. And try not to let yourself just be overly passive in this position. So pull your elbows back, push down into your forearms, and see if that makes it a little bit more active here. One more inhale. Exhale, pull your left elbow in under your shoulder and your right elbow, full traditional Sphinx pose. Feet can be wider to help your lower back, or you're welcome to bring it in a little bit more narrow, kind of like a mermaid tail back behind you, as long as you don't feel overreaction in your lower back. Again, pull your elbows towards your ribcage, push your forearms into the floor. One more breath in. Exhale, slowly come down. Pause before you prepare for 4 cobras. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower. Take those 4 rounds. On the last one, feel free to lift up, stay up a little longer. You can have a slight push into your hands to activate and squeeze your shoulder blades a little bit more together, but no more than maybe 5 to 10% press into your hands. One more inhale. Exhale, bring yourself down. Press into plank on your knees on your out breath. And then wiggle, walk it. Find your way downward facing dog. Knees bent, arms straight. Sits bones going up and back. Again, do you fall right into any habit? And it might take you a long time to move out of whatever habit you have in downward dog, to move towards a more sustainable way to be in this shape and breathe in this pose. One more breath in. Exhale, knees down, coming into the open twist. Right hand stays down. We're going to start with the left side first, reach up. Exhale, thread it under. Option this time to reach your right arm up overhead and a little lean back. So it's just a little bit more spiral of your chest up towards the ceiling in this thread the needle. Breathing into that opening of your left shoulder blade, moving away from your upper back, from your middle spine. Let's start to bring your right hand in. Inhale, open back up into the twist, reach your fingers high. Exhale, put your left hand down. You know what to do, second side. Exhale, thread it. Just a little change on this round, walking your left hand up, leaning back a little bit more onto your right shoulder. Finding your breath. Letting your belly be involved with your breath. One more inhale. Exhale, pull your left hand in. Unwind the twist on your inhale. Reach it up for a second. And then exhale, hand down. All right, one more time through that. So walk your knees back. Extended Sphinx, bring yourself down. Elbows out ahead of your shoulders to begin. Palms touching. Intention, purpose, rising back up into your brain space. Activate this extended Sphinx with your elbows pulling, your forearms pushing, and your breath continuing. Watch if you have any tendency to round into this here. You're really trying to counteract that by pulling your shoulders away from your ears and shoulder blades together on your upper middle back. Again, you can come full prone to take a rest at any point. Start to walk both elbows, slide them in to stack right underneath your shoulder joints. Same activation, hug your elbows back, push your forearms down. Maybe you change the distance of your feet and your legs, wider, more narrow. Wherever your feet are, reach out through your toes and push your toenails into the floor, which I know is interesting, but it helps you feel that extension all the way back through your leg line and out your toes. One more breath in. Exhale, bring it down. 5 rounds of Cobra. If that sounds suitable, go ahead and go for it. If you'd rather take 4 breaths in an upward dog, start to move yourself there. You can push into your hands, lift your knees, take a few breaths, get a little bit more opening. But again, Cobra might be the way for you to go. If you're in Cobra, push yourself into that knees down plank. If you're in up dog, roll over your feet. We'll all meet in down dog. Awareness of that habit, if there's one that's present. Maybe it has to do with your knees or the width of your feet. Maybe it has to do with the head, your neck. Maybe you notice you stop breathing as smooth in downward dog. Yeah. Then feet together, big toes touch. Right leg slow rise on your inhale. Hinge on your knee as your exhale and take it up and open. So you're going to open up, right heel towards your left glute, and then turn your head, look up towards the ceiling underneath your right armpit. You're welcome to take this with your left knee down in more of a tabletop position, if that's going to give your shoulders a break. Your inhale, extend your leg, square your shoulders and hip back down to the floor, breathe in. Exhale, right foot down. Inhale, slow rise, left leg. Exhale, bend at your knee. Left heel towards your right glute. Open up your hip socket, inner thighs, and then peek up towards the ceiling underneath your left armpit. Remembering to breathe. One more round. Good. Inhale, extend your leg, point your big toe, hips, shoulders all to the ground. Step your left foot forward. Keep your fingertips down on the ground, but be in that runner's lunge position. So your left knee over your ankle and just pull your chest forward. Exhale, straighten your leg, pivot to the long edge of your mat, and then take it to the right side. Runner's lunge, fingers down, heart pulling forward. And then do it again. Exhale, start to extend your right leg, walk through wide-legged, turn to a left runner's lunge, fingers down. Exhale, extend your legs. So we're gonna do this a little bit. Really taking time to feel our feet in space. Feel your heart pull forward. Pivoting through wide-legged. Starting to feel some rotation and mobility in your hips. There is no contest for who gets the most rounds done. You're absolutely always welcome, and I know all three of you know that you can pit stop anywhere. So if you want to stay in a lunge a little extra, build some strength in that particular side, feel free. You're working that mobility, keep going side to side. And if it feels like you're really hunching and rounding, grab your buddies, the blocks. That way you can be more lifted in your chest, long in your spine. You just have to bring them with you side to side. Really pay attention to your feet. Are you really turning your toes all the way to point to the short edge of the mat? Sometimes when we take these mobility actions, we don't properly pivot our feet all the way. So work on that for the next few rounds side to side. Maybe you start to take your feet a little wider, longer apart. Feeling a little bit more opening in your hip flexor. All right, let's all meet right side. So right runner's lunge. My suggestion is to get your blocks right under your shoulders, chest lifted, breathe in. Exhale, left knee down. Walk it up into a low runner's lunge. Untuck your back toes. Lift up through your chest. Right arm up to the ceiling. So take your left hand in front of your body, so your left hand is on your right thigh. Right arm is up. And I really want you to reach all the way from your right hip up to your right fingertips. Still facing forward with your hips and shoulders, your right knee, your left hip, everything's kind of shining straight ahead. Just reach, reach, reach. If you want to take a little lean over to the left, feel free. One more breath in. Exhale, both hands down, walk it back, half splits. We have had a little moment already with the back of the front leg, so shouldn't feel quite as jarring. One more breath in. Exhale, walk it forward. Lift your back knee, pivot around, wide-legged forward fold to get to the other side. Get everything set, your feet, your blocks, your breath. Right knee down, untuck your right toes, right? Feel your toenails push into the floor. Right arm crosses in front, so it's your forearm. Right hand, left thigh, left arm up. Reach, reach, reach all the way so you feel your left side body. Watch your neck, your shoulders. Any habit reactions here? One more breath in. Exhale, release that lunge and move into a half split. Both hands back, both blocks back. Left toes up. Everything's still kind of shining towards your left foot, straight ahead. Breathe in, breathe out. Start to walk yourself forward back into that left long lunge, hands down. Exhale, wide-legged forward fold. Pivot your toes in, heels slightly out, unless that bothers your ankles. Then toes straight ahead, or you can take your toes out a little bit. Just kind of play with what feels best for your ankles. If you've got your blocks, maybe come onto your forearms. No matter if you're on blocks or hands, lean a little forward. Heels should still stay on the mat, but you should feel more weight into the balls of your feet. And if you'd like, you can take your blocks, your hands a little wider, and then let your head hang down. 5 breaths. One more. Come from your elbows onto your hands. Move into a side angle with your right foot pointed out. Right forearm to thigh. You can leave your blocks close. And left arm overhead. So go right into it. Don't stay for too long. As you inhale, bring your arms up, straighten your right leg. Right toes in, left toes out. Parsva Konasana, side angle. Really tapping a little bit more into that side body. Right fingers to right toes. Or the other side, whichever side you're on. Come on up, go back to your first side angle. Again, paying attention to your feet. Notice if you leave your toes behind, if they don't point all the way to the side. Good, inhale, come back up. Exhale, second side. Good, one more time each side angle. Be light in your bottom arm, right? So you're not really putting, I like to move the forearm around, not really putting a ton of pressure, just some gentle support. Inhale, come up, exhale, take it last time on your second side. Reach out, inhale, come up, both toes pivoting forward, chest lifted. Then breathe here. Give a little squeeze of your glutes and notice if you can feel that open up through the front of your hips a little more. And then you can relax your glutes. Do that again, a little squeeze, feeling a little bit of release in the front of your hips. And let go. One more time. All right, back into side angle. Let's do the right side first. So turn your right toes out, put your right forearm down. Take your left hand. What you're gonna do is kind of round, almost like you're holding a ball. And then you're just gonna open up and take it a little bit into a twisting action. So you're gonna go down. You don't have to touch the floor. Your left fingertips can gently touch somewhere on the inside of your right leg, lower leg. So you're just gonna do this a few times. Just lubricating through your spine a little bit. Left arm does not need to be straight as a nail. Feel free to bend your elbow again like you're holding a beach ball. Watch how much pressure you're putting on your right forearm. And please, if this at any point bothers your lower back, stop with the movement and just hold it. The aim of this is to just find a little bit of the habit we have and doing a little neutralizing as you twist. One more. Good, release your arm, just come up through center, both toes facing the same direction. I just want you to close your eyes and pause. Palms to the outsides of your thighs. Notice where you can feel the warmth in your body, what particular muscles from that pose and that twisting action in your right side angle. Knowing that that heat will dissipate as you pause. And then open your eyes. Take it onto the left side. Turn your left toes out. Left forearm down. Bent elbow. You're just going to gently tap down somewhere on the inside of your lower leg. And then open back up. And tap down, turning your shoulders a little bit to face the floor. Inhale and exhale. And it might feel natural to you to open up on the inhale and come down on the exhale, or it might feel natural to you to do the opposite, to exhale, open up, and inhale, come down. No right way, no wrong way here, as long as you pair it with some breath. Take about 3 more. Lighten up the pressure on the left arm, everybody. It's really easy to bear down there. Try to use your back leg a little more. So really press into the baby toe side of your right foot. Go ahead after your last round. Come up and back through center. Wide-legged, but your upper body is towards the ceiling. Hands down, eyes closed. Shoulders up, back, and down. And then notice this side, what happens? Can you catch the sensations, maybe of your left quad, your right side body, your right shoulder? Notice any temperature change, and then notice how even now it's shifting. The heat is cooling off a bit. Inhale, open your eyes up. Turn your toes out, heels in. Go into a goddess squat, but lean forward with your torso. Hands lightly on your legs, and just a little shift foot to foot. So foot rock, heel to toes, heel to toes. So you use a little bit more leg muscles, leaning forward to decompress your lower back. And then center, take it into a twist. Left shoulder down, turn your head over your right shoulder. Inhale, come through center. You can lift up slightly, and then exhale, right shoulder down. Turn your head, look up to the ceiling. Always can come up on an inhale. You can stay lower. You can also drop your glutes a little lower. You'll feel more effort in your legs. You guys all know this. This kind of goddess squat really taps into your inner thighs. Muscle group we don't always work. Muscle group that doesn't get as much attention in the stretching arena of things. So you're like, this is difficult. That's why. We don't utilize those adductors, these inner seam muscles, as much. If they start to really burn and overly talk to you, pause. Straighten your legs, relax a little bit, then come back down, leaning forward. Again, take some of the effort out of your lower back, so it's in your legs. Twist it. One more time each side. And as you're done, a good idea for our next movement to set your blocks away from you so you don't crash into them. A wider base, a wider amount of space is going to give you more space. Make sure there's nothing in your arms distance, up or out to the side. As we do a few rounds of breath of joy, so it's 3 inhales to 1 big, possibly loud, audible exhale. Arms do not have to be stick straight. Your fingertips don't necessarily have to go all the way up, all the way out, all the way up. You could keep it more in like kind of a, I'm gonna call this a temple position, where you just go up, out, right? And I'm not fully seeing my arms, up again, but see, I'm only like going thumbs towards my forehead before going down. So it's gonna be inhale, 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 exhale. And the exhale, you do come forward and take it down. So, palms together. What's your goal? What's your intention? What's your purpose for this day and this year? And it's pretty slow. No need to speed it up. So we're gonna go. So inhale, 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 exhale. Take it in your nose, in your nose, in your nose. Exhale. And I just want you to continue at your own pace. It can be quicker, it can be slower, totally up to you. You're gonna feel some heat rising. We got a little bit longer. I know it's a fun one. Stay with it. It's also one that kind of puts you on that challenging edge of continuing. Inhale. Take it 3 inhales, 1 exhale. Last 3 rounds, everybody. Last one, and you'll hang in that forward fold. Woo. Notice your heartbeat, your breath rate, your body temperature. Try to start to slow your breath down. Wiggle a little bit through your hips side to side so you can bend the left knee, lean to the left, bend the right knee, lean to the right. Just move around a little bit. And then prepare yourself for some inversion, right? Let's shake it up. You could give a shot to put your hands under your shoulders, lift up onto the balls of your feet with your toes slightly turned out like that goddess squat. Arms stay straight the whole time, and you can kick your feet out to start to move into a little bit of a handstand. Again, watch walls and furniture. So you're gonna keep your arms straight, heels lifted, knees bent. So you come from that powerful squat to give yourself a little bit, feet kick wide and out to lift your hips up. You can go into a headstand. You can take it to a wall handstand. You can come down, start to move into a shoulder stand. But I wanna give you guys, we're gonna go a full 2 minutes. So find your inversion. I trust all 3 of you. And try to really stay with your breath in whatever variation you're choosing. Again, notice any habits that come about for you as you flip yourself upside down. Maybe downward dog sounds like a great inversion for today. One that's gonna, right? I don't want you to pick an inversion that's gonna make you feel like you got hit by a semi-truck. I want you to pick something that's gonna lift your energy, right? New day, whole new year. So we're gonna start in that uplifted position. You all have your cameras off, so I trust what you're doing in there. Keep breathing. If you've ever heard an adjustment from any teacher ever in a class about maybe how wide your elbows are, or if your elbows are bending when they're supposed to be straightening, just anything, right? Try to bring that back into your attention. Not to overcorrect yourself, but just to bring yourself a little bit closer to your safe center in your inversion. You do not have to use the full 2 minutes. Always welcome to come into child's pose. But it can be nice to ask yourself to take the challenge to stay a little longer. Kind of pushing the boundary of your comfort zone. Easier said than done, I know. As you come into your child's pose, you're gonna stay a while. If you were on your head, block underneath your forehead or 1 fist, 2 fists, so you can rest there and support your neck at the same time. So Balasana, child's pose, wide knees, completely soften out through your belly. If you took maybe handstand or forearm stand, elbows wide to just kind of decompress and dissolve through your upper back and shoulder muscles that like to do good stable work, but they need some space too. And then come back to the same breath we began class with. So you inhale, pause at the top, exhale, pause at the bottom. Inhale, pause at the top, exhale, Pause at the bottom. Maybe repeating that same set of words in your mind to help you. Or maybe you no longer need the words and you can just breathe and be with those 4 sensations. From child's pose, tabletop, 3 rounds of cat-cow. Just to recall those spinal movements, up towards the ceiling, down towards the earth, including your neck, but with intentionality. And then as you come to center, sit over towards one hip, come sit out in front, and either sitting one shin in front of the other, or campfire, fire log, double pigeon. And remember, if your knee's up really high, use a block. If they're both up pretty high, use 2 blocks. You want to try your shins parallel, but please don't put yourself in a position you can't get yourself out of. Shin in front of shin, cross-legged is just as good. Just walk your hands forward and lean into it, but also breathing into it. Muscularly, most likely, I'd like you to feel it on the outer edges of your hips and in the side glute muscles. And if you notice that putting your hands straight out ahead of you gets you into that computer zone with your body, let's not do that. Take your hands wide and just lean. So you're counteracting that remote home working shoulder rounding. Flex your feet. Notice how that feels. And then point your feet. A pointed foot is just going to activate differently. So maybe you stay with that pointed foot position. Maybe you return to flexed feet. Last breath. Big sigh. Good, slowly come on up and choose how you want to switch to the other side. You can do the fun, lean to one side, pivot, 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 pivot. That cocktail party little trick. You can simply just switch your shins. Make sure you have the other shin in front or on top, and expect this side to be totally different. So you might need more assistance with your props. You might need less. Keep both glutes on the floor, both sitting bones, and then start wide hands, lean into it. And again, different side, different story. You can't go to the exact place you just were on the first side. Flexed feet, active ankles, and then pointed feet. Feeling the front of the foot, front of the ankle, all the way up the shin bone. Just different. Move your jaw. You can take a little shimmy wiggle through your shoulders. Keep your chest up. Last 2 breaths. Good. Inhale, bring yourself up. This time, both legs extended out in front, Dandasana staff pose. Move your glutes out of the way. Bring your toes up towards the ceiling. And again, wide hands, lean. Both legs. So this is kind of our 3rd visit to a hamstring intention. So maybe there's a possibility for more space and length in your hamstrings. But make sure you're supporting yourself with your breath in and out. And then try it with your feet pointed. Curl your toes, point through your feet. Again, now noticing like, oh, the shins. There is some musculature in the shins. It's not as much as the calves, which is why I think we overly focus on the calves, but there is some there. Point, 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 curl your toes. If this cramps up your toes, free up your feet, wiggle them around a little bit. One more breath in. Big sigh. As you inhale, come up, take both of your blocks and prepare for supported fish. So one block, second highest height, horizontally, kind of long ways. Other block, highest height for the back of your head. And make sure this block is more at your upper back, nowhere near your lower back. And then the tall block goes right at the back of your skull, right? Really bright opening through your chest. And yogi's choice on your leg position. You can take constructed rest, knees knocking in. You can take shavasana legs. Take one shavasana leg, one knee bent, cross-legged, or even butterfly. So your call. Palms up. Drop your weight into the blocks. And take those loud sighs a few more times. I'm just embracing the opening of shoulders, lungs, your chest, your physical heart muscle, and also your heart in that more emotional sense of feeling, loving. One more time before you drop into a more resting feeling in this fish pose. Bring your arms up overhead, touch your palms together, fingertips touch. Remember that intention, purpose, goal, aim for your day, for your year. Just a reminder, and then release your arms, palms face up. You're welcome to at any point come out of supported fish and rest in traditional shavasana. Allow your breath to return to your body where it's in that automatic state. But you can notice, oh, I'm breathing in. And I'm breathing out. Soften any hard spots, any muscle that's tensed up. Continue to relax into the floor and into the weight and the support of the blocks. Just allow yourself to relax into your skin. Just a little bit longer here. Again, if you need to make any adjustment on a physical level, do so slowly. With a calm demeanor. To call yourself back. Inhale, pause. Exhale, pause. Just a handful of rounds. Be gentle as you come out of this supported fish. It's nice to rely on your elbows leaning to one side instead of trying to move the blocks and then coming down. So you can push yourself up from there. Take the blocks and return into seated hero's pose. Knees together, feet outside your hips. And as you bring your palms together, and don't hurt yourself if you're still in supported fish, you're going to take your fingertips down and just gently tuck right between the upper inner thighs, but somewhere where your shoulders and elbows feel relaxed. It's a grounding mudra with your hands. One more time. Bringing back that goal, that aim, that intention for your next upcoming year, if you made one. If you haven't made one, just think about today. What would you like to bring into this particular Friday for yourself? And with your hands together, your intention setting a little deeper, simply sit. No need to control or change or do anything in particular. You don't always have to put words into what's happening. You just simply sit. If your mind takes you off in a different direction, come back to the tangible feeling of your palms touching, 10 fingertips touching, where your body is in contact with the earth and that. And as you're ready, take that mudra. Bring your thumbs between your chest, touching your sternum. Anjali mudra. We'll end together with 3 slow, simple breaths. In, out. Last one. Thank you, Larry, Candace, and Bonnie for being here this morning. Hope you guys have a lovely holiday. And I hope this year brings a little bit more calm, a little bit of peace. Whatever more you need of this year, I hope it comes to you. Namaste. Thanks, everybody. Happy New Year.
Thanks, Amy Jane. It's good seeing you.
You're welcome.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New
Thanks, Amy
Year.
Jane.
All right, I'll see you guys maybe next week.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.